drugs, incarcerated a lot of people, a lot of women. It took mothers out of families, out of households. And what happens is when you shift that many people out, now you have chaos because everybody's out of order. To the point now where I was having a discussion with a group of guys, and they were talking about how actually they were at Solano last week, and they were talking about how women are now doing things, but it's more to please other women than it is to please men. Like, and we use the example about especially the women using the eyelashes, wearing the long eyelashes that's way out to here. I've never met a man nowhere that liked them big old eyelashes like that.
Look like tarantulas.
Right? Never met never met a man nowhere, but women are wearing them. But it's really for the other woman. The extra long weave that looks like everybody else's. The men are not liking that. The women are doing that because it's status symbol. The longer it is, the more it costs and whatever. So they feel somehow validated, but it's not necessarily to please the men. And so again, that comes from a sustained period, in my estimation, a sustained period of people being out of order. Nobody knows what their position is anymore. I was
with blurred lines.
Right. All the lines are blurred, right?
It's blurred lines because as well as you got women pleasing women,
men,
you got men that done kicked the closet door off, took the hinges off, and now they out the closet and they're dating other men. So now they go to the productive system of our economy,
right,
of our society.
Mm-hmm.
And when we get to the point where we're now messing with the laws of nature,
yeah,
now we're messing with
the whole structure of the community.
Yeah.
I mean, everything. And this is the thing. That's the issue, is that everybody's so far out of order. It happened incrementally. It didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen overnight. These things happen a little bit at a time.
They've been chipping away at it.
Away at it for years. We think back when they started with welfare, and a woman couldn't get welfare for her kids if she had a husband in the household. So all of these things just tear down the structure, and what you wind up with is chaos. And so people don't know their position, and I understand for me that as a person that is one of the things that makes me insane. I like order. I'm not a neat freak. I don't have OCD. I'm not a control freak. None of those things. But I don't have it. Di, did you want to say something, sweetie? Wait, you're gonna have to unmute. You're gonna have to unmute.
Yeah, I wanted to say something.
Oh, okay. Wait, Di first, and then you, Miss Tony. Go ahead.
Oh,
I said, do it. I'm not a control freak, but I do have OCD on certain things.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't make me. I'm not a control freak, but I've learned in my life, by now, at my age, you have to have order in your life. You have to be honest with yourself first. Mm-hmm. Tell yourself the truth. Whatever situation you got yourself in, tell yourself the truth.
Yeah.
Recognize what you did and tell yourself the truth.
Yeah.
If I don't want to be in a situation and I know it's unhealthy, unsafe, feeling unwanted, I have to be honest about it. Don't make it seem like, oh, it was okay because of that one person. No, it was unhealthy all around the board.
Yeah.
Be honest about it.
Yeah. And like you said, the most important person for you to be honest with is you.
Yourself. Yeah, be honest with yourself.
That's who you got to be honest with. Thank you for that. Miss Tony. Go ahead, sweetie.
Just going back to what you said, this has come up in a couple of other conversations that we've had where it appeared that we went to war with the men on the call at times about the women that are showing up today. And it is what we all have to understand is, like you saying, society has been systematically chipping away at us, at both of us. And this has been by design. First, there was Claudine. Then there was Florida Evans without her husband. We had to move up to the chain, move up the chain of command and become the forefront of the home and the office and so on and so forth, because by design, there was a systematic design to take the men out of our homes. And at some point in time, it was like, damn, there's no more men to take. So now they're going to start taking the women. And so the whole the whole dysfunction and misfortune of our families, i.e. our communities, has been by design, and we have to relegate and realize that. You're talking about the women with the eyelashes. It is a, the eyelashes, the long weaves, the this, that, it becomes these status symbols where, look at how long we have been trying to be that nigga like our men were, because we were the ones that were left behind. There's still that person, there's still that HNIC that's out there, and we moved up to the front by the design of society. And so we are consciously trying to pull back that onion and deal with, the funk that has been left in our communities, because it's very, very heavy. It's extremely heavy. Me at 57, my daughter at 37, and my son at 19, I see the slow progression, a slow digression of the woman. We were up here, right? I was going up here. My daughter's kind of like there, and then my son, the girls in his age range are just like, they're slowly going down. The conversations that I've had to have, you know, I turn on my camera in the alley, and I hear my son, telling the girls, "Can y'all please be quiet?" Because, and his friends come out and say, "Please, because if my mom comes outside, shit is gonna hit the roof." And I chuckle at one point where I know he understands, but then I get pissed off on the other point where he's not talking to boys. And there's 20 boys that might visit and only 2 girls that visit. And you have to consciously sit here and tell these girls to knock it off, to calm down, to what have you. So we are dealing with, generational trauma on top of all the other things that we have been subjected to, and we have to be real about it. We have to be be conscious to ourselves about it. What is, I love my weave, long, short, or what have you, but I'm conscious enough to do it for me and not for somebody else. And I'm not walking out the door with spider webs on my eyes, or 60-foot nails. Yeah, and things. I'm just trying to just be me. And so I think that we have to continue to work on self. And as we work on self, then we can snatch up the next person and help the next person and show the community. Sometimes you have to figure out how to peel back that onion and get to the middle.
And that is literally why we're here, Miss Tony,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because we're trying to heal ourselves and heal
Right.
what those things that happen to us
Yeah.
as a community and as individuals, so that then we can spread that healing to other people. The goal is to heal, which is why what Miss Diane said was so important, which is we got to first be honest with us. We can't heal lying to ourselves. On the group I was on with Solano today, and that concept of being honest with ourselves came up. And honesty is so important. Like, we got to tell ourselves the truth. We can never fix anything if we're not dealing with the thing itself. And people like to talk around a situation. They like to deal with what the symptoms and not deal with the root causes of it. Right. So if the root cause of me being unhealthy is me drinking alcohol, then I need to give the alcohol up. I can talk around all the other things that I want to. But if I'm not dealing with the fact that I got to stop the alcohol so that I can be healthy, then I'm just talking about that. I'm dealing around the area, and I'm not dealing with the thing itself. You can fix symptoms all you want, but at some point you have to fix the thing itself. But the first thing that we have to fix is us.
The root is you.
It's the root. It's the root. We cannot do that trying to deal with symptoms. So that is something that's really important, that I hope that we take away from tonight. And I hope that we, come back every week with the intention of being better people and having information that can make us better, not just for ourselves, but for our communities as a whole, because that's what it's going to take. It's going to have to take collective effort for us to get things back on the right track. We literally are an experiment that went very, very well, unfortunately. The experiment where they did things and allowed certain things that where men were not men, women are not women. Everybody's trying to take each other's position, and nobody's in their rightful place. And so, at some point, we have to be in our position, and we have to know what that position is. So, I want to go through, and I want to give everybody an opportunity to have any last comments. Mr. Darius, any last comments for you? Anything you got out of tonight's discussion?
Well, I'm gonna say for myself, I see what I was talking about every day, and it's crazy. I'll be looking at a lot of Instagram too, and I'll be seeing the girls come on here talking about how the females out here are looking for the next guy to sponsor their lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I'm like, am I a sponsor?
Right. Okay. Like, of all the things I am in life, how did I become a sponsor?
Yeah, and so that really, I was just talking to my ex a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, man, I don't want what's out here. I want what I had before I went to prison.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at, looking for what I had before, but I don't want nothing that's out here now. It's like a competition with the ladies out here.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard because particularly a lot of women now believe the hype. They believe when in reality they still want the same things they always wanted. They want the same things, but they've been trained to believe that they should want something different, and that's not really true. So thank you for being with us this evening, and I appreciate it. Mr. Hill, I see you here. Let's see.
I came late.
Did
I
you?
just got off work.
Okay. Well, glad you joined us. I'm not sure how much you heard.
I just heard a little bit. All I could do is listen right now, unless you can refresh me on what was the topic about.
Well, that's okay. We're just glad that you're okay, and we hope you have a great week, okay?
I do. I will. You too.
Miss Ward.
Look at Shirley.
Miss Ward. Are you there? Oh, there you go.
I am so saddened that I have failed at joining.
You muted yourself again. Wait a minute. Unmute, Cheryl. There you go.
Okay, the computer's really acting up, but
okay.
I'm saddened that I was not able to get on. I pulled over to the side twice trying to get on. It wouldn't let me in, and it wouldn't let me down. I unloaded, undownloaded, then downloaded. It wouldn't let me download the app. Wouldn't let me update it. And then I came into the house and found the cord to the laptop. And it took me a very long time to get on here also. And I really dislike that I missed the very important.
We're just glad that you are with us for however long. I hate that it took that it frustrated you like that, but we love you very much, and we're glad that you're with us for however long you could be here. Okay.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate all of you, and thank you for your continued prayers for me.
All right. Miss Roberta, any final comments from you, thoughts about the conversation tonight?
I think I really like what Tony said, how her, she talked about her, then her daughter, and then the yeah, that was interesting to me because it's absolutely true. And we don't know how to bring our nieces and our sisters and our little cousins. We don't know how to bring them out of that. So sad.
Wow. And so maybe that's something we need to put a little effort and energy into, in trying to bring them together and possibly show them a different way. I don't know how we do that, but but certainly it's worth a try.
You know, I was watching this comedy the other day, and she was saying how her daughter, she said she talks with her whole body, so everybody talk like this. Everybody, like I don't even understand
Yeah,
that.
what is that, right? And why is that necessary? Yeah, so I think that there is something that so I have a colleague that works specifically with young girls and women, and maybe we need to try to work with her through her program and expand on try some outreach in some kind of way to show them a different way to function and show them how they're where they have gotten off the right path, because I don't think they even realize that they're
Back in the
on the
day,
right path.
remember they used to have those classes, or it's called something, the etiquette classes,
Etiquette.
but it would be a thing. It would be a whole thing.
Right.
Look like
Yeah.
that's what we're teaching you, but at the same time, that's what we're teaching you.
Yeah. James would say maybe like the debutantes.
Yeah, that.
Yes.
There you
That,
go.
yes.
Yeah.
And look, and I think, and you know, it matters. It definitely matters. What you're exposed to matters. I know my mom put me in charm school at 6, and I had to go. I had to go every Saturday, and she would take me to the bus stop. Mr. Martinez, I'm going to ask you if your thoughts about, if you can unmute for me, Mr. Martinez, and if there are any comments on the topic or on tonight's discussion.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, first, I want to thank you and everybody else for having me. It's my first time, so I'm glad to be here and part of this. What I just want to say is that I'm gonna have to take some time to process what I heard tonight. Some of this stuff is kind of deep and complex for me. And and the way I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna try to spiritualize some of the stuff that I heard. You know, because that's where I am. That's where I am right now. You know, I'm trying to grow spiritually.
Yes.
And I wanna run it through that filter, through that spiritual filter. You know, all that pain and the sorrow and the bad experiences, and so I'm gonna try to run it through my spiritual filter. One thing that I like though is the realm of emotions that I heard tonight. Even the humor at first, some of the laughing and the smiling and the little bit of joking around. That's part of healing too. So
yes, sir.
Humor, I value that. So
laughter is good for the soul.
Yes. So overall, it was a good experience for me.
Wonderful.
So maybe next time I will share a little bit more of this process I'm going to be doing in the next couple of days.
Wonderful. What I will say to you is, as you go, when for example, when I talked about not having in a relationship not being defined, and there not being order, and then there not being order in the community, think about the order of the Creator. Think about the order of the Most High, right? If He's anything, He's order. So that's definitely, if you filter it through that, you'll see and you can understand, and then you can talk to us, and I'll be looking forward to your feedback on it from that standpoint. I will tell you, I'm nothing without my higher power. I'm absolutely nothing without spirituality, and the things that I teach all started with my metaphysical training. Absolutely. And please feel free at any time to interject from that particular realm as you see fit. And I'm just grateful. Thank you. Welcome home. And glad that you could participate with us this evening. And we look forward to having you anytime. Okay.
Thank you. Likewise.
All right.
Good night. Good night.
All right. Mr. Terry.
Yeah, Noreen.
Any final comments, sweetie?
Well, what I spoke on before, you have to water and fertilize a relationship before you can fix somebody else. You got to fix yourself.
Yeah.
And you can't. You got to quit drinking. You got to work on that. It's a process. You can't go to a bar and sit there without having a beer, because most generally you're going to go in there and listen to music, and then they're going to put a beer in front of you and you're going to drink it.
Right.
And so you got to learn to stay away from triggers and people who are tempting you and everything like that. So
and things that cause you to be unhealthy.
Yes.
Engage in unhealthy behavior. That's correct.
So you're right on the point.
Thank you, sweetie. Appreciate you so. Look forward to seeing you soon, okay?
All right.
All right. Mr. Terrell.
Well, I'm gonna sign off.
All right. Any final comments on the topic tonight for you? Or anything you want to share?
Say, huh?
Or anything in particular you want to share?
I just look at it like this. We've been forced to the fire. All of us that have been in prison, we've been forced to the fire. And Alvaro said it, it's a process. You got to be able to process this stuff. And that's one thing I tell the brothers and sisters that come home with these degrees and they think they ready to take on the world. And yeah, you might got your education on, but reentry is a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
It ain't reading the book, and you could get that book and master that book. But what you gonna do out here in the reentry in the world?
Mm-hmm.
You gonna let that organization use you and your knowledge to propel their agenda?
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't take you because you got that experience and you got the lived experience that they need to push their organization. Right. But is it really helping you?
Mm-hmm.
So process the information and understand what you're going into. Like you say, the higher power, the ecosystem, you have to be in tune with that and know your position.
Right.
So that's why I tell people I'm an alien, so I don't even trip with a lot of human stuff.
You know
what I'm saying? So I just pay attention and I read the signs and symbols and I continue to grow spiritually and stay in tune with the universe and do my best to continue to follow the guidance of the creator. Wow. And that's what gets me through. And that book behind me, that's how I live my life. That's my Bible right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's my Bible. Because I know through that is where I'm at now and how I continue to maintain, sustain, and grow more. And also give it to the next person so they can take it and run with it too.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. And so I got Miss Tony. Let me see. I think did Tony sign off already? Any last comments from you, Miss Tony? What about you, Miss Di? You got to unmute, baby.
I enjoyed the conversation tonight. I enjoyed all the comments. I enjoyed everything about it tonight. I was feeling like down because he kind of took me there, but just like I told him, it's gonna be okay. I just can feel that, but I feel okay now, and I enjoyed the conversation with everybody.
Thank you, sweetie. Always glad to have you, babe.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Tony, there you go.
I did enjoy the conversation as well. Like I said, no one is above reproach, and it was a reality check because I came to the call 100 miles and running, and stopped short. I hit that glass wall, and it's unfortunate that it is refreshing, but it is a reset. Mm-hmm. So I appreciate the reset.
Wonderful. And always appreciate your input in our discussions. It really it matters. James, I'm gonna go ahead and give you a chance to have your last comments for the evening.
You're looking at the plug.
Terrell said he's an alien. I'm done with him.
We already know he's an alien.
Yeah.
Alien.
But first and foremost, welcome home, gentlemen. Welcome home. reiteration back into society is going to be a little bumpy. Keep your head on the swivel. And always be flexible and always keep a smile on your face. Because we threw rocks to get out. And now we out here. Now we have to walk, take our shoes off, put our feet in the sand, and let it all ease through. Let it all ease through. You know, like I use the saying of like put your feet in the edge of the water.
Mm-hmm.
And the water, the tide come up and your feet go on the sand.
Mm-hmm.
So you pick your feet up and you put it down again.
Mm-hmm.
We're able to pick our feet up and do it again. So let's constantly walk in that eternity, in that water of cycles, of longevity. Thank you again to the gentleman that gave me my strength to
do what you got to do.
My civil duty.
Wonderful. And I think I'm going to let him have. I'm going to say I'm inspired to be here, and I'm going to let you, sir, have the last word, Mr. Trent. If there's anything, any parting comments that you want to make, unmute your phone, and then you can have the last word tonight.
Please take that last word because that's a rarity.
Huh?
I said, tell him, please take that last word because that's a rarity around here.
You know what? You're wrong for that.
So let me ask you this, before we go there, see,
we got jokes. It's humor. This is humor. It's the humor section.
Wait, hold up, swole up. Okay.
This the humor section of the show.
100 zone. This the 100 zone, right?
No.
And so I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna let everybody know when I see Terrell is on site. Just know.
In the show.
Okay? Let's see. But anyway, we ain't paying him no mind. We're gonna let you go ahead, Mr. Trent, and say what you want to say. You're gonna have the last word.
Well, the first thing I would like to say, I would like to reiterate that it has really, really, really been a pleasure to sit here and interact with you ladies and you gentlemen. And I'm really leaving this gathering tonight with a very, very deep and positive feeling in reference to moving forward. But I would like to allude for just one moment to the question that opened this last interaction, and that was, what is it? And I'll let you think about the rest of it, but what it was for me was I never in mind developed gradually, starting in the county jail, and it extended all the way into my first 12, 13, or 14 years in prison because of it I became very violent, and I never knew how I was going to react when someone told a lie on me, and that's what scared me the most. But what I knew was I was in an environment which they set me down in San Quentin at the age of 24 years. What I knew was I was going to have a fight from north, south, east, and west. And I knew that they had set me down in an environment where their hopes were, because of what they had did to me, that I probably would eventually get killed. Because at that time, San Quentin was the most violent prison, not only in the state, but second to none in the United States. Mm-hmm. But I decided that I was going to survive. to survive in an environment where you got 3,000-4,000 people who all think, and ladies, please excuse me for one moment, because this is for the ears of the gentleman. When you're in an environment with 3,000 or 4,000 motherfuckers who think they're the baddest one off their block, usually you can walk to the grocery store without getting killed if you treat everybody with respect. And that's what I started to do. And I started to help people when they had a problem. I help people to learn how to read and how to write. And people started embracing me. Even people of other races who probably, if I hadn't been doing what I was doing, they probably wouldn't have said anything to me at all. But I thought my plan was greater than theirs.
You're amazing.
And I knew that I had to implement mine and stick with it, which is what I did, because I did my first decade and some in that environment. And I came out of it. I was transferred up out of there. And here I am today. So tonight I want to thank you guys. I really want to thank you guys, because you said things and you took me back to periods. And, I'm one of them people that, sometimes I might stick my chest out and think that there's nothing I can be told. But I heard you guys say things tonight. All of you, each and every one of you, I took something from you. And you said it in a way that it was so easy for me to understand. And you know how you spell it? It only has 4 letters. And I'll remember it for the rest of my life. And it starts with an L, and it ends with an E. And it got a O and a V in the middle. So I love all you guys. Much love and respect. And I'll see you next week.
That's free to hear, y'all. Bye-bye. That's free to hear.